Good morning, everyone. I'm Emma Dalkey.
And I'm Bob Goff. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. It is one of those days where people are super happy, people are super disappointed, but we like it. We're celebrating. He's got his red on, I've got my pink on. We got good things coming today.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you are your loved one today. Make sure you do something special for them. We've got a lot of special things today, and you had a pre-Valentine's Day lunch date yesterday that we're very excited to talk about later in the show.
Yes, I did. And you guys are going to be really excited to see it too, because it's something that has been very highly anticipated. So
I'm going to tease you a little bit here. So,
yeah.
Well, it was a busy news week here, and it was a rough news week, honestly, because we had good things and bad things, but it was really a time for the entire tri-state community kind of came together a little bit. We're not going to get into a lot of the stuff and the details, but we also had some other important news. Aspen Gingenbacher did a really nice job of kind of covering the whole Hannibal firefighter situation.
Yes.
And she's got a follow-up story for it today.
Okay, that's perfect. We were talking about it a little bit this morning. I've been gone, the last week. You guys saw Brittany last week, and he was explaining a little bit about it to me. It's hard to keep firefighters there.
It is. They go to bigger markets, bigger cities like Quincy and Columbia, where they can get higher pay. And again, firefighting is a job where the hourly rate is lower, but they're there like 24 on, 48 off. You also remember they also spend time. I mean, they sleep in their. They spend 24 hours there, so they're sleeping, but they're not sleeping on the job. They have to be ready. I mean, I don't want to go running into a burning building.
Me neither.
But that's what these people do.
Yeah.
And they get that call at 2 in the morning, and they have to be ready. And it's, we don't want to go back. Nobody wants to go back to the days of volunteer firefighters and that kind of stuff. And so anyway, these highly paid professionals who put their lives on the line certainly deserve compensation if they want to stay in their hometown or they want to work somewhere where they like. And I mean, a lot of these people just go, and again, you're going to a Columbia or a Quincy where you're going to make more money. So. But it looks like the city of Hannibal's trying to come up with a resolution, so good for them.
Yeah, because, it doesn't always happen that way in
not at all.
City government. And we also had a verdict in the McLean-Madigan trial.
Yes. Mike Madigan, the former Illinois Speaker of the House, was found guilty on 10 counts in the corruption trial. Mike McLean received kind of a hung jury. They did not determine there was enough evidence for him to be found guilty. Later on this weekend or Monday, I have an interview with McLean's attorney, Patrick Cotter, where he talks about that a little more in depth and what he thinks it might mean, because Mike McLean, of course, from Quincy, longtime Springfield lobbyist, former state legislator, he was convicted 2 years ago on similar crimes, but now the attorney explains why he believes they might get a new trial or might get the charges dismissed. So
I don't know, but I don't think people were expecting that. I think people thought he was going to be guilty.
I really wasn't for sure. I mean, I followed the case pretty diligently. I'm also going to have an interview with Ray Long, who is a reporter for the Chicago Tribune, and he wrote the book on Mike Madigan.
Oh, wow.
And I've talked to him before. He's a friend of mine. We've kind of collaborated on some stuff previously, and he's just a really good guy and a very thorough journalist. So I'm going to have a chat with him later today that we'll show at some point over the weekend on Muddy River News. But we also, since it is a day for your sweets, we have sweets for the sweets.
Sweets for the sweets. This is from Crazy Cakes.
Yes, our friends at Crazy Cakes.
It's brownies, and they do brownies for special occasions like today, and they have lots and lots of sweets for today, ready for you if you forgot something for your Valentine, or if you just want to go and celebrate Valentine's Day a little bit. So they have the brownies, of course they have the cupcakes, and some other options. Then I have my cinnamon
sticky bun coffees, what Emma has. I have the straight Joe's with some cream in it, which is their morning Joe or their regular coffee drink. It's good stuff. So we again want to thank our friends at Crazy Cakes for being a part of Muddy River Mornings here. So anyway, we have a lot of stuff on the show today, and we'll go ahead and get into that here right after we hear from some of our friends, including Hess Auto Agency, and also Blessing with the Medical Minute.
Hello, I am Maddie McCartney, Miss Quincy 2025. I am also the granddaughter of two amazing grandfathers. Besides having me in common, these men both live with heart disease. One needed stents, and the other had open heart surgery. In honor of our loved ones, join me in these steps to manage heart disease risk. Choose healthy food and drinks. That means a high-fiber, low-fat diet that limits salt, sugar, and alcohol. Doing that helps manage blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes risk, and maintains a healthy weight. Talk to your healthcare provider about exercises that is safe for you. Don't smoke, or if you do, work on quitting. And take charge of medical conditions by seeing your healthcare provider regularly and taking any medications as prescribed. For more information, go to the website on your screen. Your heart health is important to you and to those who love you.
Women are exceptional. In the workplace, in the home, in the community, we fill so many roles vital not only to our success, but also the success of those around us. We deserve health care that is as exceptional as we are. Blessing Health meets the varied needs of every woman, from OBGYN care and breast health to pediatrics for those of us who have little ones in our life. Blessing Health, with you every step of the way.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy. What kind of shows will you see on Muddy River Gems each month? The same award-winning storytelling from Mark McDonald and crew that you enjoyed for nearly 20 years on PBS. Muddy River Gems with host Mark McDonald. A new episode every month online from Muddy River News.
Welcome back, everyone. And speaking of Valentine's Day, we have an interview with the owners of 644 Main as they tell us a little bit about their business and their relationship. I am here with
Austin.
And Chris Taylor.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We are here to talk a little bit about 644 Main and the journey that you guys have been on, being in a relationship and working together, because it is February and we are doing some stuff for Valentine's Day. So I know that you originally started with Reconsumed for You, and you'd go on the news and you'd kind of refurbish some things, and then that expanded into its own storefront. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so thankfully I have a very supportive partner who was happy to have me have piles of messes of recyclable goods and truck things back and forth from different places at that time. But that was really the beginning. So Reconsumed for You was furniture and found goods and cool antiques and reworked vintage items. At that time, I think we were doing vintage shoes and vintage belts because you were helping me source some of that. And we were part of a cooperative that a version of still exists in downtown called District Designs. So if you've heard of District Designs, great folks. They have a new iteration that's happening, so watch for their markets for sure. But that kind of just has slowly found its way into becoming 644 Main. I think one day we both felt like folks could use a level of service that they deserve. And someone made a suggestion to me that if I thought folks deserved that level of service, I maybe should open my own shop. And I went home and talked to my partner, and he goes, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna open our own shop. And we did.
Well, good for you. And then what is kind of the roles in the business? Are you both business owners for it, or how does that work? Yep. And then who sources the clothes? Who kind of picks everything out?
So he's the main one that sources clothes. I do kind of like an assistant buyer. I do a lot of the bookwork, back end, inventory, register stuff, technology.
He does the things that I would say somebody might put into a spreadsheet. He is that is like his skill, talent, like to the tens. For me, I don't do so well in that space, so I tend to like be a little bit more into the creative stuff. And I have a background in fashion merchandising, so it's really always been something that I've enjoyed. And especially for our clients, I think, like, they're usually our guide. Like, we're connecting with them on a level where sometimes we've witnessed their kids and their grandkids, you know, like, go through different cycles of life. And so as we get to spend that time with them and moments and things, we just kind of, like, figure out where we need to end up next. But we're in 10 years now, and so a lot of what we do now is brand relations, you know, so we're working with folks we've been with for a long time, and rather than going out and finding as much as we used to, I think, which we still do, now it's about encouraging these folks to do the things that we know that we need, and becomes a little bit more collaborative.
So we kind of have like the left side and the right side of the brain between
Right, pretty much.
with you two. How do you manage that kind of professional and personal relationship? I mean, you guys must spend a lot of time together, because usually, you know, if you're married, you both go off to your separate jobs and then come back together, but you two work together. So what's that like?
Well, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's I liken it to early retirement.
I think as entrepreneurs first, like, I think the brain is always churning something. For us, our brains have been churning in the similar ice cream churn for like 9.5 years now, I would say, pretty much, if not just shy of that. And there are definitely times where we've sought professional support, as we've all grown, I think, as humans, for like mental health, you know, therapy, all that kind of stuff, learning how to like navigate challenging times, because it all happens. Like, imagine working with your spouse. It's happened. So, you know, but I think overcoming it makes us an even stronger team. And now Austin's doing some really cool things with an organization in the area that's helping, you know, get people the services and into housing and all these cool things. That's kind of sprung out of some customer relations last summer with some folks that we know who found themselves unhoused in the park. And through that, he's met some great folks, so he gets to spend a little bit more time doing the good on that end, while I get to help make sure that I'm doing the good for our folks and for our staff. Yeah.
If you had a piece of advice for other couples, something that maybe you've learned in your years together, what would that be?
It's probably the same thing.
Well, I don't know.
I can hear from each of you, because it's probably different with different perspectives in a relationship.
My suggestion would be, do not go into business with your spouse or any immediate family member. It's just like, you know, you don't necessarily want to buy a vehicle from someone that you're close with, you know, or some of those things that can get complicated, unless you're ready to do the work, because it is work on the business end to navigate that type of relationship, and defined roles. But defining the roles, I think, makes a huge difference.
Well, and I'll add to that. If it's something that somebody really wants to do, go find yourself a couples therapist. Start there, and it will definitely help the magic work, because there's what, how was it go? It's working with your spouse is one of the most difficult things you will ever endeavor upon in a relationship, but it can be done. It's just, it takes a lot of navigating, because you live and work with each other. There's very rarely a moment where you don't see their wonderful face.
And it's been 10 years since the business started. When did you two meet then?
2007.
So we've been pretty much together through our hiccups, you know, as I think a lot of couples have as they define their relationship. But yeah, pretty much since 2007.
Yeah, it'll be 18 years this
gosh.
October.
I think,
18 years this October.
2 years from 20 years.
I know.
I think that's a pretty big milestone.
It is. It comes a lot quicker than you kind of realize, I guess.
Yeah, I love it though, because like we live in the district, and we lived in the district since before we started the business, so like 11 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And over on Kentucky, and to be able to see the regrowth and redevelopment over time, hearing from people about what things used to be like, knowing where people wanted them to go, and seeing where they are today, all in your backyard, has just been the other most rewarding thing. I think we share in our own successes together, but like then to see the success of all the neighborhood around you, like, grow and continue to thrive, it's pretty cool, because we come from very urban cities. My family grew up here, his family grew up in kind of a rural area too, but then we ended up in big cities, so it's like, this has been a cool experience, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Do you guys have plans for Valentine's Day?
Not yet.
I don't think we do.
That's the other side of working and living together, is like, you really have to take the time to like schedule that time out, because it'll probably be a good dinner, a lot of business talk, and cuddling down with the cats and the dog. So
that doesn't sound too bad. Something low key is never bad. Let me make sure I got to everything here. Is there anything that you guys would like to add?
I would just encourage folks to shop small in our local community, to do business when you can with small business service providers, because 9 times out of 10, they probably really are someone that like lives in your community and is doing other good things for your community with different organizations or different efforts or with their faith programs or whatever it might be. Usually they're trying to reinvest in their community in some way. And so the more people who participate with small businesses or local services or resources, the more there will be and the longer they will stay.
I think that's a wonderful way to end it, unless you have anything.
I don't have any. I could keep you here all.
Welcome back. Obviously, we recorded that interview previously because Emma doesn't change clothes that quickly. So we just want to let everybody know that for sure. So we also have our regular programming coming up, Muddy River News this week. David Adam had a chance to chat with the new Hannibal school superintendent, and he's coming over from Clark County.
Okay.
So, in Business Spotlight, we had the folks from Clarity Healthcare going to talk a little bit of what they do and their niche in the healthcare department. Now, this is a Business Spotlight interview. These ladies, of course, showed up and sat down at the table, and they asked where the drinks were. They wanted to be on the podcast where you get the booze.
The Club Muddy.
They wanted to be on Club Muddy, but no. But Club Muddy is going to be great, too. Dick and Pat Ventura, if you know them, they are wonderful people. They have been, I've known them for ever since I came to Quincy 30 some odd years ago. Of course, coming from just across the river, it's not like I came from Detroit or somewhere. They are just wonderful people, and we did this interview with them to talk about Valentines and more Valentine's couples and things like that.
Huh.
So
we got a lot of Valentine's Day stuff.
it is, yeah.
It only happens once a year.
That's right. We want people, to show there's love and good in the world, and not all the yuckiness that we see a lot.
Yeah, I think that's important. There's a lot of good too to be found.
Yeah.
So I think people need that now too. Even just starting working in news, I don't think I realized, all the stuff I'd be kind of exposed to every day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm with you.
And sometimes you just got to detox from it and not watch. You got to unplug. I think that's the key. Is if you're going to do this job, a lot of jobs, but especially if your job to pay attention to what's going on in the world, there are just times where you need to just shut off the phone and just turn everything off. Spend time with your loved ones. Go to a ball game. Do something.
Or watch some sports. Because we have Matt Schuckman coming up next, talking about sports.
Look at you. Super
Such a
segue.
good
Super
transition.
segue woman. Here's Matt with sports.
Well, happy Friday, Muddy Buddies. It's been an emotional week and a challenging week for a lot of people in our area. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Pittsfield community as they continue to deal with the tragedy that took place Tuesday night and the loss of Reese Ramsey, freshman basketball player, as well as the recovery of Deegan Allen, sophomore, and Lincoln McCartney, a freshman, who are also involved in that auto accident. So prayers to everyone there. The healing is starting to take place. I spent some time at the pit on Thursday night. Quincy Notre Dame did its best to honor Ramsey and show Pittsfield some love. Red everywhere in the stands in honor of Pittsfield and the community and Ramsey, and a very emotional night. I think that's taking place all around our area this week. A lot of schools, a lot of communities showing incredible support for Pittsfield, which is fantastic. But the games do go on, and we will be there to cover them. Big one tonight in Quincy. Quincy High School taking on Moline. If Quincy wins, it captures the Western Big Six Conference title outright. If Moline wins, then Quincy has to win Tuesday at Rock Island to win the title outright. But I know the Blue Devils don't want to share. I know they want to finish the Big Six season undefeated. So a big one tonight at Blue Devil Gym. We've got games going on. West Hancock's in action tonight at home. Quincy Notre Dame's got the Liberty at home. And then on Saturday, we've got the wrestling regionals going on starting tonight. The top 4 finishers in each weight class advance to the state tournament. So we will have complete coverage of that. We've got wrestlers in both Class 1A and Class 3A taking place. So a bunch of kids throughout our area. I think we had 24 wrestlers qualify for sectional, so we'll keep you updated on all of that. And then the girls basketball regionals get going. First rounds are Saturday. And then all next week we have regional leading up to Thursday's regional championships. So we'll let you know what's going on. We'll keep you updated at muddyriversports.com. And again, thoughts and prayers go out to Pittsfield, the community, the families. I think everybody there knows and has seen an incredible amount of support from the region this week. And it's what makes our community special. Makes what covering sports around here is so special. Love doing it. So you guys have a great weekend, and make sure you check out muddyriversports.com for all your action.
Hi, I'm Glenn Swick, Designated Managing Broker at Swick Realty. And if you're thinking about selling your home, timing is everything. Let's talk about the best time of year to sell and how to make the most of your market. Spring is often considered the best season to sell a home. Warmer weather, longer days, and blooming landscapes encourage more buyers to start house hunting. Summer can also be a great time, especially for families. Many prefer to move before the school year starts, making the market competitive. Fall offers opportunities too. While the market slows down slightly, serious buyers are still active and may want to close before the holidays. Winter has fewer buyers, but those shopping during this time are often highly motivated, which can work to your advantage. The truth is, the best time to sell depends on your local market and your personal situation. A real estate professional can help you determine the perfect timing for your home. Have questions about timing your sale? Reach out today and I'll help you navigate the market to get the best results.
I mentioned earlier that Emma had a lunch date yesterday, but we're showing it today because today a new restaurant is opening. Tell me a little bit about your company on your lunch date and your food on the date.
My date was Brittany Bull. That was a pretty great date and some great food. I love Indian food. I've had a lot of Indian food. I've lived in a little bit bigger cities than Quincy before moving here. And I think it's really exciting to kind of bring a different cuisine to Quincy because, Quincy's so classic Mexican food. You can go to your American food places, but something like this is really unique, and we got to try some appetizers, and you guys tried some chicken and lamb dishes, and
it was good stuff.
It was so good.
But we don't get to see me eating on camera. We get to watch Brittany
scenes.
and Emma eat on camera, and here's a look at that interview.
Hey everyone, it's Emma Dalkey. And I'm Brittany Bull. And we are here at the Indian Grill House with
Arvind Puri
and
Krishna.
So the grand opening is today. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are anticipating for today.
I don't know, a lot of crowd are excited and we love to see them, and hopefully they like our food and they enjoy it. So this is the first Indian restaurant in Quincy, and expecting them they like our cuisine. Hopefully they like it and they enjoy the food.
I think first Indian food in Quincy, like you said, judging by the article that was written previously, it is something that people are going to like. I think you're going to have a packed house.
Yeah, we got so many calls, inquiring when we are going to open. So we are excited for tomorrow, and I hope everyone loves the Indian food.
What made you decide, to open a restaurant?
I'm from Virginia. I moved here 3 years back, so I own a restaurant back in Virginia. And my brother-in-law, he also had some restaurant experience back in Chicago. So when we moved to town here, so we were having some free time, and also we are missing our Indian authentic flavor food. So whenever we feel like eating some Indian food, we either have to go to St. Louis or to Chicago. Then we thought, okay, why don't we open one so we can feed ourselves and feed the rest of Quincy too. So, there's a lot of varieties of Indian food. It pleases everybody. We got a lot of variety. So we are hoping for a decent start tomorrow. We'd love to see all the Quincy local public, to have a good time, and hope everybody likes our food.
That sounds really exciting. I can't wait to try the food.
Me too. I've never actually had Indian food.
Really?
No.
I love Indian food, so I'm really excited.
What's a start for you then?
Yes, I'm a virgin.
Indian food virgin. Well, we're gonna see what they have, and I'm excited, and Brittany is too. Brand new experience, so.
Okay, this looks delicious.
Thank you.
What do we have here? And it just keeps coming too.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
All right, so first dish right here, what is that?
That's called vegetable pakora, and
I could not say that if you
Yeah.
asked me to.
it's made with onion inside, and then it has the bell pepper and potato.
Okay.
It's each one is like a tempura.
And then what are the dips? Or sauces?
One is a mint sauce,
Sauces.
and other one is the tamarind sauce. It's a special dish in India where it's a little bit of sour in taste and a little bit of sweet. So
Which one is spicier?
the mint sauce maybe a little bit spicier, but it's not.
Okay.
And then this one is really it's not that spicier too.
No.
You can have to try it.
I'll be the judge of that.
So this is potato?
No, that's onion.
Onion, okay. I think I'm gonna try this.
It's
This
kind of an
one's
onion ring kind of a thing, but it's a
All right.
That's really good sauce. Wow.
it's mint mostly.
Mint?
Yeah.
That is really good. It's when
Oh,
you
this
say
is
mint,
pepper.
I would
Yeah.
think toothpaste, but no, that is very, very good. All right, I'm trying the red sauce.
It's sweet.
I'm calling it just
Yeah.
red and green. I'm sure everyone in here will try to learn the names. Oh yeah,
I love the green. That's so
I love the red.
Oh, look at us. That's perfect.
So
And
are these
then-
the same kind of sauces pretty much with most of the appetizers?
Not most of the appetizers, only for measure of these three appetizers. That is called samosa, which you have chickpeas and potato inside, and the dough is all-purpose flour, like the same bread dough.
Oh wow.
That looks
Now you were saying before, or actually I think it was your brother-in-law was saying how part of the reason you opened an Indian restaurant was to kind of have the food yourself,
Yeah.
the comfort of your own home. And I asked, do you make this food at home?
It's not that easy, right? So it's
No.
a little bit.
Because of mostly the equipment that you have here,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
And a lot of that has to do with the bread. I guess I don't want to say the bread, but the dough. Or
Dough and also there are some these things we can, but there is some bread that comes that one.
Yeah.
We can directly make in at home because that's made with a clay oven. It's a clay oven.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's not like a normal oven. It's a clay oven, and then it's made in the clay oven. So it was boiled or baked in the clay oven.
It looks
It's baked.
delicious. How long does something like that take to prepare?
The marination, like we need to do a little bit early, 1 or 2 hours in marination process because it has to stay. The chicken has to hold the sauces.
We both have our mouths full.
That's really good though.
This is so good. So full of flavor. And I feel like it kind of has its own. Does it have its own spice on its own?
Yeah, its own spice.
Okay, I was like,
There's a little kick to it for sure.
It's creeping up a little bit.
Because it does have a little bit spice because it's like a curry inside.
Yeah.
It's like a potato and chickpeas with a little bit of curry. So then it's like a little bit of spices added to it. It's
So Indian food has a lot of vegetarian options.
yes.
I'm vegetarian, so this is really exciting for me. But also, I mean, that's chicken.
Chicken.
So there's kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're not trying the chicken and I'm the one trying the chicken? Yep. Okay. More for me.
I would say it looks good though.
I'm keeping that there.
And then what's the sauce on this?
It's called tandoori sauce because this chicken itself is called the tandoori chicken.
Okay.
So it's kind of some special spices and mix it with yogurt and those things, and then it gives that special spices.
And then these are kind of what you would recommend if it's someone's first time trying
First
Indian
time trying Indian, yeah, this is one of the special dishes they can try it, and then the samosas and those, yeah. And we get more delicious foods too. They have the, if they are like, we have the tofu kind of, it's called paneer. It's like made with the milk, like a tofu. It's Indian cheese.
I can't even begin to describe how heavenly this is. I eat a lot of chicken wings and try a lot of different sauces and rubs. This is just cooked to perfection. It's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
I think you converted Brittany.
I think I'm gonna cry. It's so yes, it's so good. And can you make? I guess is there ever an option to do like whatever this sauce is on something vegetarian?
We get the paneer.
Uh-huh.
That's a vegetarian dish. We can make it.
All right. So you will not miss
I'm gonna
out.
modify my order when I
Yeah.
come here. Because now I know all the secrets.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing all this. What is your favorite dish on the menu? This one?
This?
I can see why.
She's gonna come tomorrow and order it.
Yes.
We are getting more dishes coming in, so just wait for it.
All right.
We're excited.
Okay, so this looks delightful. It is a chicken dish, so it's
all yours.
All right.
It smells great though.
It came out steaming.
It is so hot.
Is that a chili chicken?
Chili chicken, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Wow, that looks good.
Thanks for getting so close to my face.
I'm worried for you that it's gonna be spicy. No? Okay. That's good.
It does have a little bit of like spice or heat, but no, it has like a kind of a sweetness too.
Huh.
I think it might be from the onions.
Oh, okay. And we have some homemade bread that we're going to dip in lamb curry and butter chicken. And well, I've never had lamb, I won't be trying it, but Brittany will be trying it.
I'll be trying everything.
Everything. And I'm gonna try the sauce because it looks really, really good.
The bread too, isn't this like a big part of everything?
Yeah.
The home. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Cold, actually, my.
That's good. I think a lot of stuff has like a sweetness to it that you wouldn't expect.
This
You know what I mean?
This is the taste that I think I would have expected, but like in all the dishes, but they all taste different.
Yeah.
So like that isn't like the taste that you have for all the dishes.
I think that the butter chicken is like the pretty iconic Indian food, like when you
Okay,
think about
that's why.
Indian food.
Maybe
So that's probably why.
Maybe I have had an Indian dish
Maybe.
because it's coming back.
Is it like
to me.
familiar to
Yeah.
you? Well, now you have all sorts of
New dishes too. That's delicious. And this one was the
lamb.
Okay.
Lamb curry. So
And there's actual meat in here too.
yeah.
We're just kind of dipping the sauce on the bread because, you know, mouth full of meat on camera isn't always easy. That is so good. That is really good, especially on a cold day. You can see the steam coming from these dishes. The dishes are so cute too.
Yeah, and people eat this with bread, and then of course we have the rice here. So it ends up being pretty hearty too.
Yeah.
I think I'll try a little bit of the rice. It looks
And the rice that they brought out was flavored rice. There's, I think, a couple different options of rice. Good.
It's salty. It'd be like a good base for something.
The bread here is
I know.
delicious. I mean, I can't get over how like it is so good.
It's so crispy too and flaky. Like, look at that.
That's awesome.
I know.
We'll definitely get out here.
Yeah, seriously. Opens today.
On Valentine's Day.
Oh, that is perfect.
Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Emma.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
I'm glad we got to share this meal together.
Me too. This is our date.
So, what was your favorite thing at the Indian Grill House?
I liked the samosas. I think that's what they're called.
Yes.
Samosas?
Yes.
They were so good. They're fried, and they make special dough because they have a clay oven where they do their bread, and they do dough and whatnot. I think it gets up to like super high, like 700 degrees or something.
Yeah, this is the clay. I'm showing you the clay oven right now in this thing, and it's yeah, it was pretty cool, and it was warm because they were trying to get their heater fixed and to get ready for today's grand opening. But so I got to go back in the kitchen and get them some video back there, and yeah, it was nice and toasty there. It was like chickpea
and some veggies, and it was like a little spicy and super flavorful. And then they have two kinds of sauces, you know, like the mint, which is really popular in Indian food. And I mean, it was a really good experience. I'm really glad that we did it because I think it's going to be, you know, people are going to be trying to get in, and we got a fast preview of it.
And Brittany was entertaining as always.
Yes, Brittany and I spend a lot of time together in the office, so we don't film a lot of stuff together. So that was kind of fun. And
yeah, it was fun. So anyway, they're opening today. We wish them well. We have a lot of great restaurants here in Quincy, and we always want to support them as often as we can.
Coming up, we have another Valentine's Day interview with our friends from Lux Health.
Muddy River Engraving has been fantastic to work with, especially when I need something last minute, quickly. Andrew has just been fantastic to get me everything I need in a very quick, effective manner.
We work in a fast-paced industry, so for us, the fact that he personally delivers to it, that's one of the best things, and always comes through ahead of schedule.
What do I love about Muddy River Engraving? I love that Andrew supports the businesses that work with him. We'll see him in here almost every week, and that's nice that, you know, two people are helping each other out, pushing each other's product.
What kind of shows will you see on Muddy River Gems each month? The same award-winning storytelling from Mark McDonald and crew that you enjoyed for nearly 20 years on PBS. Muddy River Gems with host Mark McDonald. A new episode every month online from Muddy River News. Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Hello everyone, it's Emma Dahlke, of course, and I am here with
Katie Klaus
and Nate Oshner.
And they are joining us from Lux Spa. So tell me a little bit about how you got into the kind of med spa industry from both of you, because you guys both do different things.
Yeah. So I'm a nurse practitioner by trade. We lived in Omaha for about 5 years for Nathan's old job, and I was working in urgent care in like a private practice building. They wanted to start an aesthetics department, so they asked me to be a part of that. So I worked really closely with our office manager, just kind of on the back end of things of how to develop kind of a med spa department, if you will. And then when we got pregnant with our daughter, we decided we were going to move back here, be close to home, close to family. And I wanted to stay in that lane of aesthetics. So Nathan can talk a little bit about his background and kind of how he came into it.
Yeah, and so for the past like 10 years, I worked at the same company for 10 years. I had 6 different roles within that company: project management, process development, accounting and finance, and then last I was like the manager over the whole facility. So I have a little bit of a background in every different thing. She said that she wanted to keep doing it because it's the fun side of medicine. So yeah,
everyone wants to feel pretty.
We kind of just we kind of just dropped like what we were doing. I resigned from my job. We flipped our house in Omaha to get everything ready to move. Had our child and moved to Quincy and just started doing it all at once.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to do, we knew we wanted to do our own thing, right? And kind of get ourselves a little bit further away from like corporate life and be able to do something together as a family. That way we have a little more freedom.
And how long has it been open? Because I know it's fairly new.
Yeah,
right?
so we opened our doors. We were doing kind of some like mobile Botox parties, things like that through the summer. But we opened our doors of our building in August 2nd. So we're
And
still
then
a few months in.
What do you think is your most popular service that people get done? Do you think it's the Botox?
It's such a loaded question because we serve like a really wide range of clients, you know, both male and female, but also people like us in their 20s and 30s that are trying to prevent some aging, and then people in their 50s, 60s, even 70s that are kind of trying to reverse some damage that maybe, you know, like they were out in the sun with baby oil, you know, every day, and now they have a lot of skin damage, that type of thing. So it's kind of really dependent on the age group and the clientele. It seems like it also depends on what's our newest service, right? Because we're slowly building all kinds of new things up. But do you have anything to add to that?
No, I was just going to say something similar. Like, we started in August and have added everything almost every single month since then, and that was kind of the plan, is to keep bringing on new things as we grew. So yeah, just don't have enough data, I guess, to say what's the most popular. Just seems to be kind of a wide range.
Botox, of course, is the gateway drug in aesthetic medicine now.
And you guys work together and you live together and you have a daughter together. So what's that kind of like, navigating that personal relationship with the professional relationship? Do you feel like you get tired of each other?
No, I would say I married my best friend, so
Aww.
so while it does come with its own challenges, most days are pretty awesome to be able to work together.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, we're brand new business essentially, so there's not really a good like work-life balance, if you will. Like, even when we're at home, we're talking about like, what's the next special we're gonna do, what's, you know, are we doing a giveaway, what did you like post today, you know, all that kind of thing. So like Sundays are really our day to kind of turn it off, like where we do church, family time, all that kind of stuff, and try to kind of back off of the Lux a little bit. But being a startup, we're pretty much always on. But we've pretty much always done everything together since we've been together for almost 12 years. So, I mean, that was kind of the goal anyway. When we left our kind of corporate jobs, we were both go, go, go in different directions all the time. So we knew once we had our baby, we're like, we don't want to do that all the time. You know, we want to be able to, at least if we're going to be working all the time, do it together.
And it's been working well for you guys. Do you have advice to maybe younger couples who are starting to, you know, move in together, spend more time together, or is there something that, you know, you guys learned about each other that you maybe would help the people watching?
As far as starting a business, or just like working with us?
It can be working together, or it can be just something you found out in your relationship. This is for our Valentine's Day kind of feature, so we're trying to get to know some couples in town.
I think one of the most important things is like being able to give each other grace, you know, especially like, we're obviously very busy within, you know, we run and own the Lux, but then we both have other jobs too. So I think if you're going to work together, you have to be able to communicate like when you've had too much, or when you're just like, hey, can you take care of this because I need a minute. Like, that's one of the biggest things that we just kind of have to read each other almost, where you're like,
constructive
hey, I can
criticism.
see you're struggling today.
Yeah, constructive criticism too. Like, I mean, obviously you marry somebody that you care deeply about, so her opinion matters a lot to me. So how you talk to each other, like, you still got to navigate through the challenges of running a business, but also realize like it's still your significant other that you're talking to. So you got to, I don't know, make sure you word things correctly and approach it at the right time, because we've been pretty stressed this whole time, I guess, throughout it all. It's a lot going on, so communication.
One thing we've both learned is, I mean, we're highly motivated people. We always have been, and we're very career oriented. But now that we've kind of merged our careers into one, like, I think our dedication, I think, has kind of surprised us both. We're just always like, we've been together so long now that we kind of just like read the room, if you will. You know, you're just like, okay, well, I'll pick this up today because Nathan's having an off day, or usually it's me that has the off day, and he just ends up having to pick up on everything. But yeah, I think just having really open communication, because if you don't, then things just end up blowing up in the end anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like good advice. And then my last question is, I know you just started, your business, but where do you see yourself in your relationship and your business in the next couple of years?
Tough, because we're always...
I thought that might be a tough one for you guys.
10 years ago, if you would have asked us where we'd be, I never would have told you back in Quincy starting a business, starting a med spa.
He definitely wouldn't have said he was, working the front desk of a med spa.
So yeah, like it changes. Definitely want to keep growing our family and keep growing the business. I like to keep all doors open, so I don't have any specifics, I guess, on where we want to grow, but definitely keep growing. Unfortunately, we're almost already outgrowing our current space, so we might be moving, getting a different building, getting a bigger location, things like that. But definitely still growing this business, and hopefully maybe a couple more in the future.
Yeah, I think as far as like personal lives, we'll hopefully round out our family and within the next few years. Hopefully, we'll have the Lux kind of streamlined a little bit more, where we can take a vacation here and there and kind of get back to like where we can turn it off for a little bit more than a few hours, that type of thing. But if you're not growing, you're dying. So we're always looking at new options. 10 years ago we lived in a garage. 5 years ago, we were in Omaha, knew nobody, kind of had to rely on each other to get through. Then COVID hit, all that stuff. So I'm sure what we think now our goals will be in 5 years probably will change completely by the time that comes around.
Definitely. So. I love the honest answer. Yeah. I think that you guys have had quite the journey together. Now with starting your business and how far you've grown from living in a garage to owning your own business and having a family.
We could tell you stories.
Yeah, the garage story. That's a good one.
Stories, but.
Well, thank you for joining me. It was so nice to meet you guys, and I'm so glad you came in, and good luck with your business and good luck with Valentine's Day coming up if you can find the time to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
So. We are. We'll actually be going to Love on the Rocks for Hannibal.
The winery in Hannibal.
We do that annual thing, and it's always a fun event, so we're trying to make that a yearly thing, our time.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because it's easy, I think, to lose dates and fun and flirting and whatnot when you've been married for a while. So
100%. Yep.
So again, we're glad we could show some couples who work together and play together. I think you did a great job of talking to these people and just to kind of get them to, again, what makes their business go and what makes their relationships go.
Yeah, lots of local-owned businesses, like you said, local-owned restaurants in Quincy. So I think it's important to kind of see the people behind those. And everyone's here shop local. That's a big thing in Quincy.
Speaking of that, it's a 217 Day coming up. They're going to celebrate it. 217 Day is obviously celebrated on 217.
Don't look it up.
The 217 area code, but the 217 area code, of course, it stretches all the way across Illinois. And but anyway, Quincy Brewing Company is having an event this weekend to celebrate that. And we also have lots of other great stuff that you can find out. And where can people find out about that great stuff going on?
We have the See Quincy calendar right there on the Muddy River News website. So when you're getting your news, you can scroll and see what's going on that day or that weekend in Quincy. It's a really good resource to find events and find kind of fun things to do in the area, and they do a really good job with that too.
Yeah, we want to thank our friends at See Quincy for doing that with us, and glad we can help give more people access. So, well, I think that's about all we have for today.
Yes.
Once again, happy Valentine's Day, guys and gals. If you've forgotten to take care of your significant other, make sure you get that done here pretty quickly.
This is your reminder. So go to Crazy Cakes.
That's right.
Go get some flowers, and you'll be all set.
And dinner at one of our great local restaurants that we talked about. Again, the opening day for the Indian Grill House. It might be a little crazy, but you never know. just if you'll drive by there to have a shot. Again, lots of other great places, of course. All our friends at the McLean restaurants and everybody else in town, Maestros, all the great places we have. Don't forget them. The Bridge. I mean, I could go on and on. I'm getting hungry just talking about it. I guess, but we have some brownies from Crazy Cakes that we can eat, so we're excited about that.
Morning brownies.
That's right. So,
see ya.
Bye.